is over.
Well, there you go. Yes, we got some bad news this morning. Another legend of the business has passed away, and as you can see, we decided to do. And you know what? We're going to dedicate our show tonight to, of course, Joseph Laurinaitis, road warrior animal, I mean, gone way too young, 60 years old. It's really just, when you see these superstars and wrestlers who you've grown up with, it's tough. And they were they were a huge tag team for me that I watched when I was younger, and I'm sure Jeff is the same. It's just it's a huge loss. It really is. And we'll talk later. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about them throughout the night. I want to hear from you guys tonight as well. We're going to talk later about tag teams. We're going to talk about the Road Warriors. We're gonna get into all of that. So welcome to the Insiders Podcast on this Wednesday evening. And as always, we are brought to you by the good folks over at Manscaped. Again, go over there, use our code Insiders. Yes, refining the gentleman. Guys, shave the jungle. Shave the jungle. Shave the trim the jungle. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Use our code. They have some great products. Go out there and use the code Insiders for that. But we are, again, like I said, we are dedicating this show to Joe Laurinaitis. I you know what? All these years, and I had no idea that he was related to John Laurinaitis. I had no idea. I heard them talking about this morning when I was on my way into work. I'm busted open when I learned about it all. I had no idea. So let me welcome in Jeff. Jeff put together that great video piece that we showed you. Thank you, obviously, Jeff, for doing that. That was fantastic. And thank you for that. And I mean, you must have some amazing memories of Joe Laurinaitis and the Road Warriors as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Legion of Doom fan growing up, and was really inspired by them. And even to the point where when I first started playing football, I asked my mom if I would get to wear spikes on my pads like Animal and Hawk, and she laughed at me and everything and explained, well, that's wrestling, it's not football. So but yeah, they were a huge influence. The fact that both of them are now gone is just, it's a tragedy. I mean, it really is. And Animal was, I mean, he seemed to be a really, really good guy. I know that he had been doing a lot more recently in terms of podcast and speak, and doing different interviews and that kind of thing. So, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, his anniversary was yesterday.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah.
I heard that too. Yeah, his anniversary was yesterday, and then I also heard his birthday was just a week prior.
Yeah. So I mean, you think about someone like that, who seemingly is full of life and hitting another gear in their lives, and then we get tragic news like we did today. And this has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling, what I'm about to say, but for all of the crap that goes on out in the world and all of the negativity that we see all over the place, stuff like this puts things into perspective. And if any of you get anything out of this, the people that you love, the people that you cherish, make sure that they know that, because we never know when we won't have the opportunity to do that again. So, um, it's really important to make sure that we really show people how we really feel about them. And, we try to get past negativity as best we can. I know it's difficult at times, but it's just really important to try and get past that stuff, because at the end of the day, life is about love and cherishing people and showing others love and appreciation. If we can do that, the world will be a better place. But we have to get to a point where we show appreciation a little bit more for the people we love and care about.
Very good point. And you know what? You guys know, I listen to Busted Open. I listen to it on my way to work almost daily. I get about a half an hour of it. And that's exactly what Bully Ray iterated this morning, too. They brought him on the show, and he's not normally on. Tommy Dreamer was a mess because Tommy Dreamer was really good friends with Joe, knew him really well. And in fact, Tommy got a call and spoke to his wife and heard about it. And Bully Ray came on, and Bully Ray said the same thing. He said, you know what? It makes everybody kind of realize that, you really need to take advantage of every minute, every day that you have, and just realize that, everyone's mortal, and he brought up when he was on the show, saying to Dave LaGreca and saying to Tommy Dreamer and Mark Henry, of course, that, one of them could be gone tomorrow. It's just how it is. And it really it does put things in perspective. When you look at a man's life, right, and you look at a man who was an entertainer and brought so much joy and happiness to people who watched him entertain, you want to, the way you kind of want to remember them is, and the way I'm sure they would hope that you think about is that you maybe realize that sometimes, we get surrounded by negativity, and how could you not? This year has just been awful.
Jeez,
and yeah, it's just been awful. So it's so hard sometimes to go out there, and it's like a big dark cloud following you around, but just like a weight is on everybody's shoulders, and you just have to find a way to climb out. There's a light somewhere, and sometimes, when a person like this is gone, and that maybe that's kind of when you realize, geez, this can happen to anyone, right? This can happen to anyone. And like Jeff said, just cherish the people, your family, your friends, and that's what Bully Ray had talked about on the show as well. Just cherish the people, because you just don't know. You just don't know. This hit me hard. Like I said, I was a big fan. I always loved these kind of. I was a tag team fan when I was a kid. I liked tag teams growing up. I always loved tag team wrestling, and this goes back to like the Strongbow brothers. My goodness, late 70s, early 80s. And then, of course, the Road Warriors, Demolition, the Hart Foundation, all of those. I was a tag team wrestling guy. I loved it. Yeah. And these guys, they talked about them on Busted Open, saying how they came along with the big muscle-bound bodies. Like, you didn't see that a lot back then. Now, today it's a big thing where the guys are just jacked. But you didn't see that a lot. And when these guys came out, and they had the face paint on, and the gear that looked like they were a cross between the Road Warriors and it just, with the spikes on the shoulder pads, and they were talking about their first, I guess, one of the people who was close to them was talking about the first time they shot. They did a shoot for Pro Wrestling Insider for one of the magazines. And we're talking about how that when they were on set and everything like that, when they came in with all that gear on and the makeup and everything, he's like, it was just surreal. Like it was just something completely different. And then look at what they led to. You got teams like Demolition that came along, and everybody was saying, "Oh my God, they're a copy of the of the Road Warriors, of the Legion of Doom." And so they paved the way. They were pioneers of a lot of what we see today. With the horror stuff, with the guys that wear the makeup and the face paint, with the guys that come in with the costumes and stuff like that, and the big jacked guys that we're seeing today. These guys paved the way. They were the first ones to come in looking like that. So, yeah, I mean, just amazing. And again, when you lose someone like this, a big part of your wrestling lives. And I know some of you younger guys, you'll know who they are, obviously, but I know that you might not have seen them wrestle and stuff like that. And completely understandable. They were from a completely different era. But we wanted to go through and we wanted to talk a little bit about, and we will come back to this a little bit later because we want to hear from you. A lot of times when something like this happens, the best thing you kind of do is kind of talk about it, kind of chat about it a little bit and what it meant to you. And I want to hear from you guys later on in the show when we come back to this, because we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the Road Warriors. We're going to talk about your memories of them. We're going to talk about tag team wrestling, and we'll go into, I put it out on Twitter earlier about who your favorite tag teams are. I want to hear from you guys later with that as well. Let me welcome some people in. Famous KJ Carter, how are you tonight? Hope you are well. Hello, DJ B Tazzy. Dodgers up on your boys 1-0, but I see we're losing tonight, so maybe you'll get us back. Joshua Mickelson, hello. Hi, Rusty Shackelford. Thanks, dude, so much. I put it out on Twitter for the gift. Rusty sent me an early birthday gift. It was amazing. Came home today, saw that. It was a Kyle Scarborough art of The Fiend. Dude, it's so amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Rusty. Made my day. Let's see. Kevin Correa, hello to you. How are you? Joshua Mickelson, I think I said hello to you, but if not, hello. Hello, Jessi Calynn. Welcome, C Wrestling. Hello to you. C Wrestling is mastering the art of 2K Battlegrounds, and I'm sure he will be the highest person up on the scoreboard in Battlegrounds very soon. Let's see who else is here. Dave in real life. Hello, Dave. How are you? Nice to see you. We don't get to see you as much anymore, but hope you're doing well. I know you've got some stuff on your YouTube channel also, so make sure you check out Dave in real life. I know he was doing a prediction video for Clash of Champions, which, by the way, we have ours tomorrow night. Austin 316, hello to you and welcome to the show. I think I hit about everybody. So yeah, welcome to those who have come in early. And obviously, like I said, we just kind of felt the need that, we had to do. I thought you were good, C. I don't know. Everybody else is talking like you're amazing at it, dude. I don't know. At least that's what I saw in the chat. Maybe people are lying. Who knows? Sean Rousset just came in. Hello, Sean. Wrestling Days fan is here. Hello, Days fan. How are you? So we are going to a little bit of a different format of our show. Let me just explain a little bit of what's going on there. So we are kind of in between. Of course, Jeff is in the middle of a big move. He is at his new destination, getting kind of moved in. And we are changing things up a little bit. We're moving and shaking, and we're going to change things up a little bit. We want to bring a positive to you guys. And I think, look, as I had just said a little bit ago, I think that's something that is direly needed, especially in the world of wrestling. There is so much negative out there. And look, we are as guilty of it as anyone else. We started getting into it, getting sucked into it a little bit. Also, it's hard not to. But what we want to do is we want to bring the positive to you. We want this to be a place where you guys can come in and kind of celebrate wrestling, celebrate the fandom, be a fan of whatever it is you want. I don't care if it's New Japan, AEW, whatever it is. everybody's welcome, and we are going to accentuate the positives in the show. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to come up with a different show format. We're kind of in between now. This is kind of going to be just a little bit of a different thing. Gary could not get us any audio today. He's busy. I know he just started his new venture, writing for that new company that he's with. The name escapes me off the top of my head, but I know it's a bigger wrestling
Inside
company.
the ropes.
Yeah, inside the ropes. So there you go. He's the lead writer on Inside the Ropes. So congrats to Gary. Good for you, dude. We're happy for you. So he couldn't be he couldn't give us the audio clip. So we'll just kind of go through it, and yeah. So I guess what we'll do tonight is we'll start off with a little bit of a recap. We'll give you what made us happy, what we enjoyed over the past week of wrestling. We'll talk a little bit about some of the news that we've heard and some of the things that we've seen. Go through that, and then we will go back to the whole animal thing. We will talk about the Road Warriors. We will talk about what you guys thought about them, what your guys' favorite tag teams are, and kind of what they meant to you. And then at the end, we will get to a Calynn Corner, as we always do. Leave you guys with a little bit of a smile on your face before we go and take off for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, we have a preview show for Clash of Champions, 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to join us for that. We will have the whole crew will be here, the whole Insiders family. Jeff, myself, of course, Jody, and Brandy will all be here to give you our predictions for Sunday's pay-per-view. So, let's start out, shall we, Jeff? Let's go into, let me just say hello to Monica King is here. Hello, Monica. How are you? Sunny Wolf has joined us. Hello, Sunny Wolf. Nice to see you. Dave, Dave's fan. I did not miss you, Dave's fan. I said hello to you, Dave's fan. Who else did I miss? A John Cena Gamer 0809. Hello to you. Welcome to the show. Okay, so let's start out by well, first, all right, before we get into this, I have to do this. I may ruin my voice. You may want to cover your ears, but I have to do it. Okay, hold on. Oh, what a rush. Had to do it. Had to do it. Yeah. I had to do it. I had to do it. I probably destroyed my voice for the rest of the evening, but I had to do it. So, so there it is. A little bit of the Legion of Doom there for you. And if you don't know that, well, you got to go back and watch some Road Warriors and some Legion of Doom, because that's how they did their promos all the time. So if you don't know it, go back to it. All right. We're going to start off with our favorite moments of the week. So, Jeff, why don't you get us kicked off and get us started? I'm curious to know whether we're going to have maybe some similar ones, because I have a funny feeling we are. So let's get started, Jeff. What was your number 3 favorite moment of the week of wrestling that was?
Okay, so my number 3, I'm going all the way back to earlier this week when we got the announcement that we were getting Talking Shop-A-Mania Part 2.
Nice.
That for me, it was such a different it was such a different thing. So
yeah.
And that's the thing with wrestling, is that if you can get something that's different, then you're doing something really good. And not only was it different, not only was it very comedic, but it was just so well done. And they explained from the very beginning, listen, if you're looking for technical wrestling, that kind of thing, this isn't the place to be. This is all about fun, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm glad that that there's another part to it. Kudos to Gallows and Anderson for doing that, and Rocky Romero as well. So So yeah, that's my number 3. What about
That's a
you, Jeff?
great number 3, man. And we are so psyched that we can do that again with you guys. And if you didn't join us the last time, I keep telling you this. You cannot miss this. You cannot miss this. There's no excuse because it's a Friday the 13th. You all know that is my favorite day ever. And I'm giving up. Going out and scaring camp counselors with my hockey mask and machete. So if I can do that, you can join us for Talking Shopomania. And it comes on after SmackDown. SmackDown will be over. You can come right over from SmackDown and join us for what will be a laugh riot. Dude, guys, we have a ball versus ball match. Not an eye versus eye match. No. It is a ball versus ball match. So that is going to be priceless, and I cannot wait. Yes. Look, that kind of stuff is what we need. It is so fun. That was so much fun. I could not, when I was done, my abdomen hurt from laughing so much for those 2 hours. I think it was fantastic. So make sure you join us. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree, Jeff. My number 3 came from Impact last night. The Heath Slater promo.
Man.
Oh my goodness. This, if you weren't with us for Impact last night, Heath Slater's promo was priceless. Priceless. So damn good. I have not seen a promo that brought me such joy and laughter that I can remember. That was so great. Like, just from how they planned that, and you know, the whole thing with the contract and getting the Twitter hashtag out there and getting it trending and all that kind of stuff. But then Rhino being there and talking to each other, and then they go to Cameo. And they have the celebrities coming on, and you had David friggin' the Hoff, man. David Hasselhoff from the 1980s. I mean, how could I not love that? And then we had was it Nancy Kerrigan? Yeah.
Yes.
Was it? Yeah, we had Nancy Kerrigan. We had Chuck Norris. Chuck freaking Norris was there. I mean, this was absolutely stellar. Whoever thought this up, if it was Heath, if he was working in combination with writers, I don't care. This was absolutely amazing, and kudos to him, because I'll tell you what, Heath doing things brilliant that says Dave in real life. Yeah, oh, dude. That was, honest to God, one of my favorite promos. I honestly think, and this is going back, my goodness, if Chris was in here, he would be telling you how old I am and how long I go back with wrestling, but this is going back a long way of promos that I've seen in my entire life. This was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, I keep telling you guys, Impact is so much fun. It is. It really is it's the most fun I have every single week on any of the streams that we do. And it is just it's such a great show. And I really, and that promo last night was absolutely priceless. So my number 3 of the week, hands down, was the Heath Slater promo on Impact last night. If you guys haven't seen it, I can't even describe to you the whole thing. Go back and watch it if you can, because it is just absolute fire. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, Jeff, what is your number 2?
Well, since we think a lot alike, my number 2 was actually going to be the Heath promo.
Yep.
Because it was so good. And I mean, just from the start, obviously there was a shot that was taken, but it was done in a way that wasn't as bad as other shots that we hear. I mean, it was just funny. He's like, you know, hey, my name is Heath. I used to have a last name, but a billionaire now has it in a safe. I mean, that, like,
yeah,
that's
clever.
Hilarious. Very funny.
Clever.
You know, and it just, what it does is it pokes fun at the ridiculousness of the big corporation, but it also lets you know more about the personality and the person that Heath is, and how hysterical he is, and how talented he is. So it was good seeing that. It was good seeing Rhino out in the wild, being asked why are you standing like that? I mean, it's just the little things in that little video montage that
Oh,
it's just like, okay, like whoever did this put some serious thought into it,
they did.
and it was amazing. So yeah, glad that it got trending last night. I don't know if you saw Scott Demore's comment, but he said that it got his attention, and
Uh-oh.
maybe it's time for Impact Wrestling to consider this. So we'll see what happens. We'll
I
see what
love it.
happens.
I love it
Yeah,
too.
I
How
mean
they,
it's yeah,
so good, dude. I love the two how they continued the storyline from the week before. Because if you didn't
yeah,
see the week before, Heath went in and stole some money, and obviously what he used that money for was to buy himself the cameos, which
yep,
I mean that's classic, dude. That's that. And you know what? I read a review today. I read a review on Bleacher, and Bleacher loved the show. Like they've been grading the shows, and they're harsh. Those guys are
yeah,
tough. Like when I read them, they graded everything on Impact last night a B, an A. They even came out with a comment and said that WWE should pay attention to how they do promos, because they said they don't overdo them. That the way they do them just gets you enough, and they also have them back to back sometimes. So sometimes you'll come back from a commercial and you'll see promo, which isn't normally how you see that done. But they were saying that the WWE should pay attention because they really know how to do that kind of stuff, and I agree. I absolutely agree.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, great call. I would absolutely agree with you. Great call. My number two. Oh my goodness. My goodness. We got little Jimmy. We got little Jimmy. R-Truth is a national treasure. That man is an absolute treasure. Dude, the promo with him on the beach with the 24/7 championship, when we got Tozawa walking down to the beach, of course, to start it. And then, he's looking all over, and they go diving in the water like two morons. And then here comes R-Truth down, talking to little Jimmy. He's got the belt with him. And then we see a shark. There's a shark. I'm like, what is he going to do? Is he going to go beat up the shark? Like, is he literally going to go in the water and beat up the shark? Is he going to take out a shark? Well, we didn't get that. But obviously, I mean, little Jimmy in the water, dude. Oh my God. Why R-Truth is not it. Look, I get it. I get the whole 24/7 thing. I understand it. I get how they're doing that. Dude, this guy could be the comedy of the entire show. Like, you could bring back Brock Lesnar. Do you remember when they had that little confrontation with Brock and R-Truth, Jeff? You remember when they had that little thing?
Yeah, around
Dude,
the Rumble. Yeah.
could you imagine if they made the 24/7 title just a little bit more prestigious and had him come back and had Brock and him just going at it for? Remember when he did that in the ring with Brock, and he was he got Brock to laugh. I'm
He
reading
got him
now.
to break.
Yes, I'm reading stories about that now, saying that they actually dared him to try to get Brock to crack, and he did. Like, how cool, dude. R-Truth is amazing. He really is. I love the dude. I think he's fantastic. That I mean, he's not a young guy. He's been around for a long time, and the stuff that he's doing. While yes, some people, and again, this is where you'll see the negative side of it. Oh, that 24/7 stuff is stupid. Different people win it every day. It's dumb. It's blah blah blah. But see, you're not seeing the comedy. You're not seeing the fun in it. Like, and R-Truth is just, I mean, he is priceless, absolutely priceless. And the fact that they brought little Jimmy back, amazing. And again, you just not something you just don't think about. You don't think about that. And when was the last time we heard R-Truth talk about little Jimmy? So I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Again, I was laughing. I was hysterical watching it. Thought it was fantastic. Him calling out Sharknado. And, oh, dude, it was just so good. Oh man,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
I love that guy.
he honestly, man, he's a national treasure. And
Yes.
people, what they don't understand is R-Truth is 48.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's been around a while, been around the block, and I mean, he's arguably, and this is crazy to say, but he's arguably from a promo and comedic standpoint the best he's ever been.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
at this point. And I think if WWE wants to look at longevity with him, um, make him some type of manager.
Oh yeah.
I would honestly love to see him because I don't know how much you guys watch Raw Talk, but I would love to see him manage Nia and Shayna because
Oh.
yeah, because that trio together, like whenever you see them on Raw Talk, is so funny. And Shayna every time she cracks, she has to turn her head away from the camera and that kind of thing. So I just really, really, really want to see them have him stay around and give something back to the company because he's made that type of an impact on the WWE. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. When I see him and I see him doing these skits, I honestly go back to Saturday Night Live, and I'm talking like 80s, 90s Saturday Night Live. When you watch some of those shows, like Chris Farley, I loved Chris Farley. Everything that man did. When you would see him together with Adam Sandler, Chris Farley would do stuff, and Adam Sandler couldn't help it. Like he tried not to laugh. He'd be standing behind him and be cracking up laughing and trying not to because he's on live TV and you're not supposed to be laughing, but he couldn't help it. And that R-Truth seems to me like that kind of a guy. Like when you get around him, and like Jeff said, you can get the serious person around him. Brock freaking Lesnar is one of the most serious guys you will see in this business. And if he gets him cracking up laughing, dude, you've got a gift. You have an absolute gift. And look, again, to bring this up again, it's a gift of positivity and a gift of making people laugh. And I'm sure that he's involved with some of this at this point too, and some of the writing and everything like that that's going on for him. And dude, that's amazing because again, all he's doing is just giving people some joy on the show. And man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I hope it continues. I hope he keeps going with it. I hope they keep, and I don't mind. I don't mind at all. When you see Mick Foley talks about him as well, because of course Mick brought that 24/7 title in. Mick mentions him as well and says, what the stuff that he's doing is just amazing. I mean, Mick had a little bit of comedy in some of his characters too. So yeah, it's something that it's so fun to watch, and to me, it's necessary. It really is. I think it's necessary on especially on Raw right now, because Raw is, I think, the lesser of the two shows, and I think they need it. But so, all right, Jeff, what is your number one favorite moment of the week?
All right. So I'm gonna go a little bit. I don't want to say different because it's not really different, but I want to give a huge shout out to Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
And honestly, it's got nothing to do with wrestling, but it has everything to do with perseverance and attitude, and the fact that we've seen her wrestle in all of these shows. We've seen her on the big stage, and it seems as though she's still remaining humble and grounded. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that she has paid her dues. She has worked her behind off in this business, and she deserves every bit of the spotlight that she is getting right now, plus some. Because, when you talk to her, even if you just interact with her, she's a star. And the fact that other people are now seeing that, I mean, it's so funny that people are saying, "Oh, Thunder Rosa followed me," and it's like you're about 6 to 8 months behind right now in terms of knowing how great and how awesome Thunder Rosa is. I mean, that's not something that just happened the other day. I mean, she's been that way. It's just now she's getting the opportunity to be seen by more people. So what obviously I love NWA, not just from its current iteration, but from growing up here in the South and watching NWA, and at one point wrestling for an organization that was affiliated with them. But I would love to see her sign with AEW full time.
I agree.
And I think it's gotten to the point where um, I think it's gotten to the point where she has earned that with AEW. I think it'll be a win-win for both sides. I think it'll be a win for fans because I think we can get some amazing, amazing matches. I mean, I looked at that tag team match tonight and it was just amazing. So
Yep.
again, I think I'm so happy for people like Thunder Rosa who put in the work, they grind it out. This week she's getting a lot of frequent flyer miles because she's all over the place.
Yep.
But I think for people like her, I'm really happy for them because those are the types of people that you want to look up to and those you aspire to be because she is just she's amazing, not only in the ring but as a person. So shout out to her. Just seeing her excel has been one of my favorite things to see over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, great shout, man. She's won a title 3 times out of the last 6 days. She's defended her title 3 times in 6 days. That's amazing. And the fact that she's getting national attention, that people are coming out and saying that Thunder Rosa, I mean, we've heard comments on other shows, and these are big national shows saying that she is their pick for female wrestler of the year. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Look, we had her on the show. If you guys haven't listened to our interview with Thunder Rosa, go back and do it. It's one of our earlier interviews. She was nice enough to, it's one of those things where we were first starting out. And look, we were no one. No one knew who we were. I'm not saying we're this big thing now, but we were just starting out. And a lot of times when you're doing that, she was the champ at the time too. She could have very easily said to us, hey, get the heck out of here. Why should I bother coming on your small show? Forget that. She was nice enough to come on, and you'll never forget those things. You'll never, ever forget those things. And I will never forget that because to me, that is, she's nice enough to do that. She's nice enough to come on and talk about her career with us, which was amazing and an amazing conversation. And like Jeff said, when you learn where someone comes from and you learn the ladder that they had to climb to get where they are today, man, you respect that person. You really respect that person, and she deserves everything she gets. She came out tonight with face paint of Animal. She had half face paint on her of Animal. She respects the business. She respects where she came from. She knows where she wants to go, and God, good luck to her. I really hope that she does sign with AEW because I think she, and again, this is no offense, like Jeff said, to NWA, because I loved her there too. And that's where I started watching her when I was. But I would really love to see her get that national TV spotlight every week because she deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. Rusty says, can we get the Twisted Sisters back together, please? They have been together quite a bit. Check their Instagram. They've been hanging out. A lot of stuff like that. And I think they had a wrestling thing going on in Texas where they were both a part of it. Holodead was doing announcing, I think, there. So, yeah. Monica King says, preach, she deserves everything. She does. She really, really does. And, Jeff, that's a great shout. I'm going to stay on the women's side of it as well with mine. Mine is Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega getting a shot for the championship of Asuka, the women's championship. Dude, Zelina Vega, people don't really understand. Like she's a great competitor. Like this was the first time we saw her in the ring in, and I'm sure a long time, at least I don't remember ever seeing her in the ring before. Maybe she had been and I just didn't see it, but man, oh man, she, impressive. she was impressive. Then, wrestling Mickie James, hats off to Mickie James as well, because, Mickie, after coming off that horrendous botch, whatever that was last week, we don't even know. But after coming off that, anyone else could have said, yeah, screw this. I don't need this. But she came out and she really put Zelina over. And but Zelina was impressive. And I'll tell you, I'm excited to see her. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Look, when you can move from being, you were kind of secondary all the time. You were kind of just, you're a valet. You were a face. You were a person. You were a microphone for, maybe two guys who weren't that good on the mic, right? Like a Paul Heyman, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And, she could have kept on going in that direction, but at least there was someone in WWE that saw the fact that, hey, you know what? We need to get her involved. We need to get her involved in this title picture. We need to get her wrestling, get her in the ring, and show everybody what she's got. I'm really excited to see her wrestle on Sunday. I really am. I don't think she's going to win, and we'll talk about a little spoiler for our prediction show. I don't think she's going to win the title. Not yet. I think it's a little too soon, but I think she's going to put on a great show. I really do, and I think that match with her and Asuka, that could be a stealer. That could be and it's on the pre-show, which is really odd to me. Like, why would that? But I get it. I get it, because the pre-show doesn't always get people watching. So it is kind of smart, I guess, if you're going to put a match on there, bring some people in to watch it. Now, again, some people will say, well, this deserves more respect than that. That you have the women's champion, and maybe it's disrespectful to put them on the pre-show. I think they're doing it just because I think they're just trying to get people watching. And a lot of people love Asuka, and I think they're going to watch for her. And the people who, really want to see what Zelina is all about, they're going to watch it to see Zelina. So I'm excited for that. One of the matches I'm most looking forward to on Sunday. And yeah, so that's my number one, Jeff. I think it's going to be a really good match.
I do too. And I don't like to do this often, but I feel like sometimes we need to. Several weeks ago, I'm pretty sure I said on our show that WWE should start putting her in matches because she's phenomenal.
You did. Yes, you did.
And I'm really glad that they did it, because it seems like people are genuinely excited to see her wrestle. Yep. I mean, obviously for a while, people were talking about, wow, look at the 6-inch heels she's got on, and what is she going to wear this time?
Yep.
And, all this stuff. And then you forget about her wrestling ability. And, Monica said this too. She said, we saw a little of her skills when she was in that movie Fighting With My Family, also a little from NXT. Exactly. And, it's one of those things where I wanted to see more of her and Bianca Belair. And when we got that little glimpse of it, it was like, okay, now we've got to see more of it. And that's why I said what I said a few weeks ago, because I could see the fracture in the relationship between Garza and Andrade. And it's like, okay, now's the perfect time to do this. So if we're going to do this, let's do it. And, unlike Joe, I don't have as much pull around the parts of WWE. So I had to have a little birdie go in, and I'm joking. But no, I'm just glad that she's getting this opportunity, because it really does seem like fans are genuinely excited to see her in the ring, and I'm all for that. And you know what? Whether it's on the preview show, whether it's on main event, I don't care. I just want to see her in the ring, and I'm glad that she's in the ring. So, kudos to WWE for expanding their women's roster, because they have people there that are talented, that can wrestle if you give them the opportunities to do so, and not, and not just be a valet or a manager, but actually contribute in the ring. I'm glad that they're doing some more of that. I'm going to put this out there into the atmosphere, and B. Tazzy just said it. We need to see some more Bianca Belair. So hopefully in the next week or two, we can see that happen. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm so happy for Zelina. I agree with you. I want to see. I think people want to get this match on the kickoff show because I think this could be the type of match that steals the show, or at the very least gets people intrigued to say, okay, I've got to stick around to watch the rest of this. So really glad that she's getting this opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree with everything you said. Monica says kickoff show, I think, is a good start. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I could see, I know a lot of people, Eric doesn't like it that much, saying that it points to telling me Street Profits versus Angel and Andrade were more important, even though we see that match on every Raw. Yeah, I get it, man. I just think that, look, it is what it is. I think that, getting them eyes on the kickoff show is not a bad thing. I mean, a lot of the times when you're seeing people on the kickoff show and you're seeing stuff on the kickoff show, you don't, half the time you don't pay attention. You kind of think it's going to be a garbage match anyway. But I don't think that's going to be the case this time. I think there's going to be eyes on that, and I think that's really what they want. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So there you go. There's our top 3 favorite moments of the week. Let's talk a little bit about Raw, shall we? Because, man, we had some big developments on Raw. We had Retribution.
Yeah.
Well, Retribution became the talk of the wrestling world, didn't they not? I know I had to put out some comparisons, and I've got to do this. I have to do this. So here we go.
I am Raw's reckoning. Vince McMahon signed me to a contract, and I am going to destroy everyone in wrestling.
So there you go. We have a little Bane action going on. Bane showed up in the WWE. I had a field day with it. I was loving it. I was like, okay, so Batman beat up Bane, and then Bane decided to show up on Raw. Like, dude, it just, I don't know where they're going. I mean, I saw a joke, and I think I was talking about this as like, somebody was saying, like, did somebody show Vince Mad Max? I think I said that on Impact last night. Did they show him Mad Max, the newest movie that came out, like, show him that? All of a sudden he was like, yeah, that's great stuff. That's such good shit. We're going to put that in. We're going to make them wear those masks. Is that what we heard? Like, the names,
There's no defense of it.
No, dude, Slapjack. Can you really hear someone saying the new world champion Slapjack? Like,
you know they're gonna mess around one day and call him Slap Nuts on commentary.
I know. Where's Jeff Jarrett when you need him? Jeff Jarrett can come out of hiding and say, "Yo, there's some wrestling Slap Nuts tonight." I mean, dude, like, what are they thinking?
Yeah,
I mean, I had to laugh because it was one of those things where you're like, oh boy, like, and then who signed him to a contract? Who does that? Like, it just some of the stuff just doesn't make sense to me, and I get it. Like, there's just, the writing is just sometimes all over the place, and it happens everywhere. But like, it just, who would have? So this vandal group that's coming in and destroying generators and smashing windows and and going into your television truck and doing all that kind of stuff. Who the hell signed him to a contract? Like, who signed him to? And I joked about this too, and I said Ra's al Ghul signed him to a contract because it's Bane. But I mean, like, who now? I mean, maybe we got some stuff down the road coming. Maybe they'll reveal who this mystery person who signed. Are they going like the NWO? Because of course we didn't know that Eric Bischoff was in charge. Eric Bischoff was looking like the guy getting attacked, wasn't he? So we didn't know that Eric Bischoff was the one who brought these guys in. So, I mean, maybe it's going to be Shane McMahon, which, okay, I'm all right with that. If that's the way that they go, then I'm okay. Eric's talking about T-Bar and the new Universal Champion, T-Bar. Yeah. What is a T-Bar? Like what?
I've got another thought about this. Recently we found out that someone on the SmackDown roster has a lot of pull when it comes to making roster changes and show changes, and that would be,
I know where you're getting at.
yeah, that would be the one and only Miz. And I could see the Miz being the leader of this thing, since he does have a show that's done quite well on USA.
True.
He is a very popular wrestler. So I could see him, especially with the draft coming up, I could definitely see him ending up on Monday nights and being involved, being the leader, because I think, the one thing that we have to keep in mind here, and being fair, is that we keep saying WWE needs to do something different. They need to do something different. So then they started doing this retribution thing. Then it's like, okay, they need to tell us who they are. Show us who they are, because the masks are ridiculous. Okay, now that they've shown us who they are, the names, you know what? People get stupid names all the time. They can get a new name. But at least it looks like the effort is there, because at this point, I think what's happening, I honestly, truly believe this. I think that with Raw, they're just kind of, I don't want to say phoning it in, but they're doing the least amount possible, because I think after the draft, we're going to get such a shakeup.
Yeah, I agree.
That it could shift the balance in terms of Raw being a good show again. I mean, it's okay most weeks, but some weeks it's like, okay, this is a little bit rough. But I think we're going to see them do some new things on Raw. At least that's my hope for it. But I think this is a good start. At least we know who these people are now. And, now people are talking about it again. Before, like last week, everybody was like, okay, I'm done with Retribution. They can just kick rocks at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
Now it's like, oh man, did you hear about that name? Slapjack, T-Bar, Mace? Now people are talking about it again. So it's like, okay, but yes, Dave in real life brings up a good point. I am not going to go over what the Urban Dictionary says about T-Bar and Slapjack. If you guys want to look that up, you go look it up. I am not responsible for what you read, but yeah, they should have probably looked at that before they gave those names. So,
let's have some fun. Everybody in the chat, give yourselves a Retribution name. Give yourselves a Retribution name. I want to see what you guys come up with. Nails already said my name is Hot Tubs. Hot Tubs. And then I think, wait, didn't you say her husband named him? Wait, hold on. Was that Rob? Oh yeah, his name is Big Snacks. I want to see. All right, everybody, come up with Retribution names. I want to see what you guys come up with. This is awesome. We could start our own Retribution. This fan says teabag. Oh God.
Good Lord.
Oh God, dude. Sonny Wolf says Little Timmy. Well, there you go. There's a shocker. Yeah. Eric says chopped logs.
Chopped logs.
Oh man. Eric says, he keeps going. Glue gun.
Glue gun.
Oh my
man.
gosh. Oh,
Joe, what would your name be?
Oh, dude, I can't even.
Rusty says he's firm handshake.
Firm handshake. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to think on this one. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'll have to come up with something till the end of the show. DJ B Tazzy says bear mess. Bear mess. Shoelace McGee says Sean Brissett.
Oh man.
man, this is awesome. I knew this was going to be good. Dallas Stars fan, hello to you, says Big Drill. Oh, God. This is just getting worse as we go.
Yeah. Jessi says street feet.
Street feet. Veltrix, the creator. Good Lord. Where are we going with this? Merrick says, what are you talking about? The Kool-Aid Man?
Oh, yeah.
The Kool-Aid Man.
Wow.
Oh, String Bean says Sunny Wolf. Dude, this is insane. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like Jeff said, if whether it's Miz, whether it's someone else, you know, somebody obviously signed them to a contract. They've made no bones about talking about that. The announcers really made it a point that they were signed in. So I kind of think that that's going to be part of the storyline. So if that's the case, we might get a mystery person who signed them in, similar to the NWO. I mean, they are kind of like Jeff said, it looks kind of like they're reusing a lot of older storylines there. Of course, we also saw the whole Rey Mysterio paternity thing get reused again as well. Sonny, I am not even repeating that.
Wow.
Not even saying.
I just saw that one. My God.
I'm not even saying that. The chat can read it. You guys can read that for yourselves. I am not even going to say that. I'm not.
I'll just say use the promo code.
Yeah, nope. Yeah. Segue. I'm not even saying that. Nope, and nope. So yes, now I can't even focus. Where the hell? Oh, the Seth thing. Yes. So I mean, they're rehashing a storyline right there too. With, you know, not sure where that's going to go, but it's not Dominic this time as it was when, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero was involved. Now it is Ray's daughter that they're getting involved there, and of course there's something going on with Murphy too. So I don't know. They mentioned that, hey, look, Stephanie kind of got her start similar to that as well. You know, when she was hanging around and she started getting involved in some of the storylines, she was about the same age. So there is some precedence there. DJ B. Tazzy says Fruity Pebbles. DJ B. Tazzy, you're not going to come up with something peach? Come on. You could do better.
I know.
You could do better. Come on, man. Come on. Little Noodles. Oh, God. It's just what are you doing? What are you doing? Dude. But anyway, wow. I mean, so yeah, I agree with Jeff. I think Raw has been reported to be kind of a mess that the last few weeks, where they had to bring, Vince had to come in, change things up right before the show started and stuff like that. I think I agree with Jeff in the fact that I think that they are waiting for the draft. I think they are waiting for the draft. And I think that they are that they're going to go forward with how that they're going to structure Raw, because it just seems like it's just kind of out of whack. You have the whole Seth thing that's going on. Yeah, I get it. And then we saw Aleister Black come running back down with the KO show, and they had the blindfold back on. So I think it's just they just have too much going on there. They don't really know where they want to go. And I think with the whole underground thing and what they want to do with that, I think there's going to be major moves made to Raw. I don't necessarily think we're going to see too much from SmackDown, but I think there's going to be major moves made to Raw. And we talked about it on Abby's, is one of those major moves moving Bray? Is Bray going to head to Raw? I mean, look, they look like they're sorely missing. I mean, they've got the champ. So, you've got Drew, but they might be missing the guy who maybe they call the face. And I don't know that Drew is. I think Randy Orton may be more of that role right now. And Randy is a heel. So I know Bray is too, but Bray's more of a tweener. So they might be doing something like that. They might be thinking that they're going to move Bray over to Raw. So we'll see. It should be interesting. Caramel apples, fluffy peaches, as he says, Harry. Jeff would be Buzz Slammer. He presses the buzzer and used to wrestle. Okay, all right. Then Jeff's the Buzz Slammer.
I just go with my old gimmick, because my old gimmick basically belonged in Retribution. It was terrible. I've given Joe some insight on this, but basically yeah, it was the equivalent to T-Bar.
Jeff will talk about that at some point. When we get rolling here, we will get those last 2 interviews out for you guys from Jeff and myself. We still have to do our Ask the Insiders because you guys did one with Jody. And then, of course, we did one with Brandy. So Jeff and I still have to do ours as well. So all of that will be revealed in those interviews. So they will be fun. Dill Pickle. Stop.
Yeah.
Sonny,
Yeah,
stop. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not. I'm just not. I am not saying it. I know, Rusty, call her out. Dude, I can't. I'm not even talking. Not even say. No, I'm not even saying it. But yes,
Monica says flat peach.
Flat peach. Oh man, dude. That's great. That's great. All right, let's talk a little bit about. Let's go back and we revisited, of course, the passing of a legend and an animal today. Let's get back into that a little bit, but let's not make it so much of it. Let's make it a little bit of a more, an upbeat thing here, and let's talk a little bit about tag teams. I love myself some tag team wrestling. I really do. I like it. I like the fact that we're seeing some great tag team action in AEW. We're seeing some great tag team action in Impact every week. I kind of wish WWE would get more into it. Because I love it. I love tag team wrestling. And of course, the Road Warriors were one of the best and one of the absolute best. They paved the way, as I said earlier, for a lot of tag teams that are in the business today. And I'm sure you will hear that now, that both of these men have passed on. You will hear a lot of people telling you that. I already heard today. I heard, Bully Ray talking about how their influence was with the Dudley Boys and how they influenced. And I'm sure they, when you talk to some of these teams, they will tell you that they got a lot of influence from the Road Warriors. So let's talk a little bit about tag teams. And I'm going to go back. I'm just going to name a few of my favorites. And then you guys do the same. Tell us who your favorite tag teams are. Nails, I know yours. I don't even have to ask. I know who yours is, hands down.
Now, Joe, are we talking current, or are we talking past, or can people mix it up?
Yeah, no, any ones you want. I'm going to give you a quick little list of mine. I was asked this earlier today. There was a poll going around in a wrestling group that I'm in on Facebook, and they asked us to name our top 5. I'm not going to give them in any order, but I'm going to just rattle off a couple of mine. First off, the Strongbow brothers. I will say they were kind of what got me into wrestling as a kid. When I started watching Saturday morning wrestling and studio wrestling, I saw a lot of the Strongbows, and they a lot of times they'd have feuds against the Wild Samoans. They'd have feuds against Fuji and Saito, Mr. Fuji. So a lot of those things going on, but they were, to me, like seeing these guys in Indian headdress and doing that kind of stuff, and the tomahawk chops and the moves that they were coming up with. I absolutely loved them. Very entertaining to me, and it was a team that I was brought into wrestling with. So love the Strongbow brothers. Another one is the Hart Foundation. Brett and Jim the Anvil, absolutely amazing seeing these two guys. They played so well off of each other. Brett was the tactician. Jim the Anvil was the brute. He was the guy who just came in and beat guys up. And they just such a long-standing tag team. No one wanted to mess with those guys, man. You see, that, hey, they're coming in and wearing the bright pink. And you're seeing these guys thinking like, what the heck is it? You guys wearing pink spandex? But dude, they were an amazing team. Absolutely love those guys. Demolition, dude. Yeah. Demolition, and yes, they wore hockey masks to the ring, and yes, that is probably why I liked them as much as I did. But Demolition, if anyone took any influence from the Road Warriors, it's those two. They came down dressed in the black hockey masks, the armor that they had. They definitely took stuff from the Road Warriors, and I absolutely thought they were amazing. I still remember their theme song. here come the axe, and here comes the smasher, the demolition, walking disaster. So there you go. I can't, though that kind of thing, I just don't forget. And they were amazing, and I absolutely love them. I wish they won more. I think they did carry the titles for a little bit. I don't know if they had them for a very long time, though. But I really, those guys, I just was a team I root for and wanted to see them win every single time that they came out. And let me think here. Of course, I mean, the Road Warriors, and I mentioned this earlier in the show, when I saw these guys, and I didn't see them from the start because I was a little bit too young, but when I saw them in the early 80s and then going through the 80s and into the 90s, just amazing. These guys, the promos they cut were just unbelievable, classic stuff. And their look, the way, and I told you guys earlier how they kind of paved the way for these big-bodied, big muscular guys that we're seeing a lot today, coming down to the ring. Man, if you were not intimidated by these guys, I don't know what tag team would intimidate you, because, dude, and I don't know that that's ever been recreated. I don't know if that's ever been recreated with tag teams. Like, you are literally you see these other tag teams that are in the ring, and back in this time we had a lot of jobbers. You saw a lot of jobber teams with guys that would just get together that were never in a tag team before. And man, you'd see the look on their faces when these guys come out, and they're like, "Dear Lord, what did we just get ourselves into?" So those are there's just four of my favorite tag team. So you guys start shouting some stuff out at us. I'm gonna say, I see B Tazzy says Money Incorporated. I know we got something from Rusty as well. Let me see where that comment was.
I'll put it back
there. Okay, Rock and Roll Express, dude, amazing tag team. Second was the Road Warriors. Third would be New Age Outlaws. And I can't forget the Outsiders. Dude, when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall ventured from WWE and showed up in WCW, oh man, you want to talk about, there's another intimidating tag team. They came in, this is before Hogan, came in and just made their mark in WCW, and WCW wouldn't have been what it was without Nash and Hall. So there you go, man. Rock and Sock honorable mention. Yeah, they were that was an unusual team to be to say the least. But yeah, man, absolutely. Let me read a couple, then I'll get to Jeff's. My number one favorite team is Retribution, says Eric. The Undisputed Era, says Dave's fan. Eric also says The Shield. UE, Wyatt family, and Edge and Christian. Yeah, Edge and Christian were great, man. Let's see. Hart Foundation, says Dave, in real life. Edge and Christian, Legion of Doom, Hardys, and the New Day. All right, yeah, all great choices, man. Let's see. The Usos, says Tazzy, got to give my home, the Bay Area, some love. The Usos from San Francisco. Yeah, man, and they're coming back into the spotlight now. Looks like in singles action. The Undertaker's faction Ministry, does that count? Sure, Sonny, why not? Why not? Anything counts. AOP, yeah, AOP was great when they first came in. Yeah. The Usos, let's see, what else do we have? Rocket Sock says Undisputed Era, baby. Yeah, we may be seeing them coming up. Hey, that's a perfect example. If they come up to the main roster, I'm really hoping that they give a jump start to the tag team division. I really hope they do, and they certainly could bring that. Going old school, Sting and Lex Luger. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Man. So good. Evolution, my favorite all the time, just because they had four of my favorite. Evolution was awesome. Yeah. Dallas Stars fan. Yeah, they were amazing. Absolutely amazing. Butterspark says Techno Team 2000, definitely. The Road Warriors, the Outsiders, Brothers of Destruction, the Hardys, New Age Outlaws, all great choices. I love, like I said, man, I love me some tag team wrestling, and I hope that WWE starts to kind of get the hint that people still like this stuff. And if it's done well, there's no reason to push it to the side. There really isn't. I mean, we're just not getting it there. And I really wish they've got the people that can do it. And I really wish they would get back to it because, man, they were the leader when it came to tag teams back in the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. I really wish they'd get back to it. And maybe they're going to see that it's not dead, that you're seeing these other companies doing it and doing it well. Jeff, tell me what yours are, man.
Oh man, so there are so many, from back in the '80s and everything. But I'm looking at kind of a overtime, so I'm just gonna start naming off some that I really like. My all-time favorite tag team was Legion of Doom by far. It wasn't even close. They they were way out in front. But Demolition was great. Heart Foundation was awesome. I'm trying another older one. Since someone brought up, 4 people being in a group, the Brain Busters with Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite tag teams. As we go through time a little bit, obviously Sting and Lex Luger. One of my favorite tag teams, Harlem Heat.
Nice, good call.
Yeah, Harlem Heat was just you think about the intimidation factor, and I'm gonna bring up another group here in a second too, but you think about the intimidation factor. Booker T was the athlete, the wrestler that was, a pretty good mat technician and all those things. And Stevie Ray just beat the crap out of you. Like he just pick you up and just throw you and do whatever you want to do. Yep. Another tag team that kind of had that same makeup. How about APA?
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah,
yes. And Farouk.
Yeah, they were so good, and and they were intimidating. You take either one of those guys by themselves, and they're intimidating, but then you put them together in a team, and just ask Public Enemy how that went. I don't know if people know the story about Public Enemy, but they basically had a shoot fight with Public Enemy in the ring and beat the absolute crap out of them. And maybe about 2 weeks later, Public Enemy was no longer in the WWF at the time. So, but honorable mention, Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, dude. No, I was just going to say like this. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how can you get away from that when you had so much good stuff going on? Like the Nasty Boys, the Dudley Boys. Go ahead, dude. Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Nasty Boys, Hardys, the Dudleys. I'm trying to think. I know like I said, there's so many. Another group that we haven't mentioned yet, the Rockers.
Oh man, Marty Jannetty and
Shawn Michaels.
Poor Marty Jannetty, man. I don't know where that.
I know.
Life. He's another one who, like, dude, what is going on with that man? You read his stuff that, him and Shawn Michaels were amazing, though. Yeah, absolutely amazing. That's people forget. Like Shawn Michaels was such a huge singles guy that they forget he was in a tag team for so long.
That's how he started. That's how he started. And obviously, Nails called out another one: natural disasters.
Typhoon, was it Typhoon who was that? Tugboat, wasn't it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about our buddy Nikita Koloff, Jeff?
Yeah. The Russian Nightmare himself with
when it was Ivan and Nikita.
And Nikita, yep, that's right. And as soon as you said that, Rusty said it. So
Rusty, I see you, man. I see you.
Yeah, nobody brought them up. And here's a couple others. Another one that was pretty good, and I don't think people give him enough credit as a performer. But Greg Valentine and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Dream Team.
Yes.
And then my last one, U.S. Express.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda.
Yes.
And and today, as far as today goes, I've got to give a special shout out for the North,
Yep.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh.
I really like the Street Profits as well.
Yep. Yep.
And I've got to give some love to the Bucks.
Yep.
They're really good. I mean, and Private Party. I think Private Party is that next group, that next tag team that maybe in 2 to 3 years we're going to look back and be like, okay, this is when they began. Like, this is when they started to really ascend. So I think they're on the come up. So I know I just probably listed off like 10 or 15. But
Oh man, it's so much fun, like reliving like all this stuff. Like again, like you forget. I mean, there were so many good ones you forget about. I mean, look, Wrestling Days fan mentioned the Bellas. I mean, like, dude, I mean, a great female tag teams as well. See, this is why I just don't get it. Like, they had that in the past. They had that, and it was a thing. The tag team belts weren't just being thrown around like this as an afterthought. Like, yeah, okay, you take it. Well, I don't really want it. You take it, because like we don't even care. Yeah, man, like it's so there's so many, and they had such good stuff going on. The Iconics, yeah, someone mentioned them. Look, they're out there, and if you have these superstars that maybe don't have a lot going. Jeff and I've thought of another one, Jeff. What about Beer Money? We were talking about them on Impact.
Oh, man, yeah.
James Storm, of course, just out of his contract, so maybe James Storm
Team
goes.
Canada.
Yeah, like just the Riot Squad. Yeah, like, dude, see, that's what I mean. Like, if you have a lot of these superstars that you don't know what to do with, you're sticking them in underground, or you just don't know what to do with them. God, get that tag team division going. Get it going again, man. Like, you bring that up. Like, start off. There's no better way to use talent than to team them up. Tag them up and get two people in a team. Then all of a sudden, you've got a big group of tag teams, and those guys can wrestle more. Then this way you're getting 4 guys in the ring, or 4 women in the ring, instead of just 2. And then you're getting more faces on TV. So I just don't get it. Like,
and that's the thing. That's what a lot of people, especially younger fans, don't understand about the old days, is that's what they used to get guys over for singles runs.
Yeah.
They would take them if they weren't doing well in terms of singles pushes, and they didn't get a huge pop and they weren't over. What they would do is they would pair them up with someone else who was basically in the same spot, and they'd let those guys or girls work together and basically feed off of the tag team. And from there, they could tell, okay, this person is going to be a huge single star, so let's make them shine a little bit more in these matches. And you could really tell, like, going from that. But again, it's like people are looking for ready-made, instant success, when back in the day they would take the time to build up these talents and put them in a situation where they get the most exposure. So I would absolutely love to see WWE, and I mean, because I think right now AEW and Impact, their tag divisions are phenomenal.
They're
killing it.
Yeah.
I think for WWE, they need to go back and say, okay, we've got these amount of people that are just kind of floundering around. Let's create a tag team tournament for both shows. And let's take some guys that aren't on TV. I mean, my goodness, I would love to see Mustafa Ali and Humberto Carrillo in a tag team. I mean, just go ahead and put them in a tag team now, because that would be exciting.
Yep.
Ricochet and Apollo Crews. I mean, you can do all of these different things.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden now you have a deep tag team division. Don't just give me a tag team one week and then the next week pretend like I don't know that you showed me that last week.
Yep.
So
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. And like Jeff said, instead of just having these guys go over to 205 Live, or instead of just having them just not show up and you don't see them week after week after week, man, get that tag team division going. I think it would only help them. I mean, again, like Jeff said, that was used to put people over in the past. So that's why you got a Shawn Michaels in singles action. That's why you got some of these other guys. And then you also had some of exactly. And then you had some of the guys who were single stars that would tag up. You had the super teams like Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. My goodness, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. They could team up together and then do that for a little while. So yeah, they Sheamus and Cesaro, Sonny. Yeah, I mean, they were a great team. Absolutely great team. But I just, like I said, I think WWE needs to get back into the tag team game. They really, really do. FTR says Dave in real life. Yeah, I mean, they should be looking at other things. And I think if WWE gets into any kind of a thing, and you're trying to get in Vince's head a little bit here. I don't know, but if they kind of get into a little bit of a thing, I think they kind of think maybe that they're at the top and no one can touch them sometimes. And I think you got to take a step down and you got to realize that, yeah, okay, maybe AEW and Impact will never beat you, but take a look at your competition. Take a look at your competition and learn and think to yourself, you know what? They're doing this really well. We are not. We need to get back into tag team wrestling. They are, tag team wrestling is good stuff. If it's done properly, my God, like Jeff said, the North and Motor City Machine Guns, just a clinic, an absolute clinic of tag team wrestling. And that's going on a show that, because people look at almost as an afterthought. But look, yeah, absolutely. And what better way to honor the Road Warriors, to honor Hawk and Animal, than to think to yourself, you know what? Let's take this and let's pay tribute to them by bringing our tag team division back, by bringing it back. Because you know what? We were the leaders in the tag team division. We can do it better. We've got athletes here. We've got amazing amounts of talent. We should be better. We should be up on the top, if not at the top of the tag team wrestling of everywhere. So what better way to tributize them than to bring tag team wrestling back? And again, thank you guys. I saw all of your shout outs and amazing.
And there are so many we forgot. I mean,
I know.
We know that we can't name them all. And, and that's no disrespect to any of those tag teams and what they did.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so many that, just think about the 80s and 90s. That was just a tag team rich era back then. And yep. I mean, but at some point, Nell's brought up a good point, and I want to read that comment. She says, maybe we have to accept each promotion does great for certain divisions and bad for certain divisions, like getting your eggs from one store and your fruit from another. Yes, I understand that. The one thing I would say, and not even as a counter to that, but honestly, the other companies right now are beginning to be more well-rounded.
Right.
And, like for all the criticism that AEW took weeks and months ago and weeks ago about their women's division, that's looking pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie. With the addition of Thunder Rosa, you bring in Tay Conti, Serena Deeb, you make some of these, acquisitions that they have, they're looking pretty good. Impact, for me right now, Impact is my top promotion right now because they do everything well. And they don't, it's every week they continue storylines. They do all these things very well. They have a great tag team division. They have a great knockouts division. And the X division is absolutely insane. So, and then, you can argue about about the 6-man stuff in AEW. You look at their women's division, like I said. You look at the people that they have up at the top. You look at someone like an Orange Cassidy. You look at, I mean, just different people that they're bringing along, MJF. And now it's like, okay, these other companies have everything else that WWE has. The only thing that they don't have right now are the numbers of fans and people that are in with the tradition of watching WWE. Eventually, that's going to catch up, at some point. So it'd just be nice to see some more effort and continuity across the board. So that way, it's like, oh my God, we can go from thing to thing and say, I want a fantasy book this tag team against this tag team, or even have a triple threat, like a 3-way tag team match between the 3 divisions. I mean, but every promotion is going to be different. And, the great thing about this is that we're all just having fun talking about it. It's just, one of those things where wrestling is so awesome that we can actually have conversations like this. And they, contrary to popular belief on Twitter, you don't have to argue to have different opinions. You can just have civil conversations. So
that's what we want to.
Yeah,
that's what we want to get across, Jeff. You're absolutely right. Everybody can love everything. Look, everybody is getting. The cool thing is like Jeff said, we're all sitting here discussing about things from our past. A lot of this is, and if you can get away from what's outside that door just for an hour, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I do it on my other podcast that I do. I know Jeff does it on his other one as well. And we want to bring that here for you because we want to be a place where you can just get away from things. And doing this kind of thing, we're all reminiscing. We're talking about tag teams and stuff like that that meant something to us over the years, whether it was because they were crazy, whether because, I see Los Matadores in the chat. I see Epico and Primo in the chat. I'm seeing I saw the Bushwhackers in the chat. The Bushwhackers, yes. 2 guys coming out of the ring acting like complete fools. Dude, if you didn't have a grin on your face when you saw those guys coming in, and then they go over to the ropes and they pick up their right arm and be like, oh, screaming into the, look, dude, I mean, see, that's what I mean. Like, this is the kind of thing we're all getting together. We're all talking about this kind of stuff, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I love bringing this kind of stuff back because I forget about so much of it because I'm old. And my memory goes, and I forget things, as Chris DeZeba likes to remind me every day. But yes, it's just fun stuff. And what better way to honor the man that is up on the screen than to talk about amazing tag team wrestling than the guys who were a pioneer of the tag team wrestling we are seeing today in every aspect, and even a pioneer of some of the singles wrestlers. I mean, look at the face paint. Look at the what they're wearing. Where are you seeing stuff like that? You think maybe Bray Wyatt might have got a little inspiration from the Road Warriors? You think other people might have looked at these guys and got some of their inspiration from what they're doing? I'm certainly sure that you're going to see a lot of people, like I said, over the next couple of weeks coming out and saying, you know what, these guys brought it, and these guys, kind of showed me how to do stuff. So, all right. Well, let's talk about what's going on for the rest of our week. And at the same time, we will have Jessi Calynn. Jessi said she's got a slew of jokes. I think she said she has three jokes. Again, we're getting from Jessi. So, Jessi, let's tee up the Calynn Corner. Let's tell you about what's going on. So tomorrow night, don't forget to join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our prediction show for Clash of Champions. We think we pretty much have all the matches. We'll see. I don't know if we're going to get anything more on Friday that we didn't already get. Maybe we will. There's quite a bit of matches already for it, though, so I don't know. But we will have our prediction show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to join us. We will do that with the whole group. Like I said, Brandy and Jody will join myself and Jeff for that. And then on Friday, we have the hot tag with Jeff and Brandy. That will be about Slick and about Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla. Teddy Long. They will be talking about those two. Yes, playa. Yes. He's going to put you guys, if you miss it, he's going to put you in a match
with the Undertaker, player.
Yes.
You have a one-on-one match with the Undertaker tonight, player.
Oh,
it's going to be a casket match.
Yes. So don't miss Hot Tag on Friday. That is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, Sunday, Clash of Champions. I will be a little late for that. I will be getting it right around the start of the pay-per-view, but please tune in and join Jeff and Jody and Brandy. They will kick it off at probably either 5:30 or 5:45. Watch for the time, but please join us on Sunday for Clash of Champions. And like I said, please don't feel pressured to not watch who you love to watch. It's all good. We're all good. You know, hey, everybody has several devices. Our friend James Chadwick watches like 5 different devices at once. Put us on one. Put someone else on that. Whatever you guys want to watch, go ahead and do. Whatever makes you guys happy, do it. Do it. Because we all need to be happy. All right. So, Jessi Calynn, where are you? And of course, I must not forget, we will have Abby's Window next Monday. We will see what Bray is going to do. Is it going to be something with are we going to get something with Bray at the pay-per-view? Are we going to get something with Bray tomorrow night on SmackDown? We will see. But not tomorrow night. Sorry, Friday night on SmackDown. We will see. And we will be here to talk to you about it. So I think we're getting a countdown. We got a 3. I'm seeing a 3. Sonny's saying, ooh, yes, it's exciting. It's exciting. We're getting a countdown. 2. Oh, no, Sonny, that's not Jessi. Sonny's cracking me up. The hacker could be Sex Ferguson. Yes.
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 Sex Ferguson.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got a 1 and a 2. Here we go. Joke number 1. Sorry about my stuffy nose. My allergies are killing me.
I'm right there with you, partner.
Days Fan is a 1. Oh, man, they're killing me this time of the year. All right, here we go. Don't remember if I said this one before, but hashtag Calynn Corner. She has her own hashtag now, guys. This is serious.
Yes.
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Oh, ground beef. Yes, ground beef. Yes, there you go. There's joke number 1. Joke number 2 in. Oh, we're getting another countdown. She's not even giving us time to breathe. She's not even giving us time to take a breath. We're going right into the next one. 3. We got the countdown. But says Nails. Yes. 3. We're still at 3. Days Fan says 9.99 out of 10. Eric says, LOL, Jessi, I've heard that many times, but it still cracks me up. 2. Oh, we got a 2. Rusty says, I see where this is going. It's anticipation, isn't it? It's like watching a ketchup bottle. Dave's Fan's trying to fake us out with a 1. No, it's not a 1. We're not saying it's not an official 1. Here we go. Jesse's there's the 1. Don't know if you all will get it, but
Uh-oh.
We're anticipating. It's like that song by Carly Simon. Anticipation is making me wait. Yes.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh boy. Hashtag Calynn Corner says, what do you call a nun in a wheelchair? Virgin Mobile. Oh, yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Love it. Rusty's dying. Big laughter. Yes. Oh man, look right out. Forgetting it. I gotta take a sip of soda here. My voice is going. Joke 3 in 9.999 out of 10 says Days Fan again. Do people who watch The Nun only know this? Says Eric. Sonny's Joe, did you see my joke earlier? Sonny joke. Cow farts come from the derriere. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, nice. Kevin Correa says 9.99. There we go. We're at 1. Joke number 3. We are at 1. Everybody's copying the 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Here we go. Hashtag Calynn Corner again. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Oh. Yes. There you go. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
That's good stuff right there.
What better way to end a show with some good laughter, guys? That's the whole point. Because sometimes you just need it. You just need it. Tazzy says this is amazing with a bunch of laugh emojis. That's it, folks. I'm screaming, says Rusty. Oh, Nail says, oh my God, I love that one. Ha ha ha. Ah, yes. Thank you, Jessi. That is awesome. Love it. And again, she said, by the way, I've been waiting to tell that nun joke since last week's show. Oh, she's been holding it up for a week.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Oh man, guys, look, thank you all so much for joining us tonight and for helping us to tributize Animal Joseph Laurinaitis on this day when of course he passed away. And it's just, it's good. It's a great thing to get to talk to you guys and for you guys to talk back with us about whenever something like this happens. So really, really happy that you guys could all be here with us tonight for this and to talk about it. And I'm sure that Animal and Hawk will be looking down. And hey, maybe they're looking down on us right now, and they're smiling because they're hearing us talk about not just them, but talk about tag team wrestling, something that they were so important to and built up so much. And that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So please join us tomorrow night for our prediction show. Please join us for Hot Tag. And then, of course, come over. Oh, by the way, I might just have a little something after the pay-per-view stream. Might just have a little something you might want to stay tuned for after the pay-per-view. We're doing our own little thing here. It's kind of like what did you ever go to see? You've all gone to see Marvel movies, right? You all know what comes after the credits. Yeah, I may just have a little something for you guys after the pay-per-view on Sunday night. So come and stay for that because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So from Jeff, from myself, as always, guys, thank you so much. Please hit the like button on the video if you haven't already. I know we haven't mentioned that. If you haven't done so already, like the video. Before you head out tonight, hit the like button. If you have not already, and I know most of you guys in here have already subscribed to us, but if you haven't already, or if you know someone who might enjoy the content as much as you guys do, let them know. Let them know about what we're doing here. Let them know that we're trying to spread some positivity around the Twitters and around the social medias and around just the podcast wrestling world as well. We want to be that little tiny beacon of light. And I know it's hard to see it. It is hard to see it, but that's what we want to be. So make sure you tell all your friends, tell them to come and check us out. Tell them to sub to the channel and tell them to watch us and come over and watch us for something a little bit different. So again, for us, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great SmackDown tomorrow. Enjoy. God, I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday. No, don't have a good SmackDown tomorrow. Come and watch us at 9 o'clock tomorrow for our prediction show, and then enjoy SmackDown the next day. Yes, guys, it is almost midnight. You know what that means? It's Billy Idol's time. In the midnight hour, she cried more, and we're getting out of here. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll talk to you all again very soon. Have a great rest of your night and stay safe. Take care, everybody.